Hello my friends and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really well. Good to be here and good to be reading for you as always. Today's question is, what do you need to know right now? So I've got 3 piles for you to choose from with 3 crystals as well. So pile 1 is this Dalmatian Jasper. Pile 2 is this beautiful titanium aura quartz. And pile 3 is this Flourite. Doesn't seem to want to focus this. So pile 1, Dalmatian Jasper, pile 2, titanium aura quartz, pile 3, green Flourite. Timestamps will be in the description box below and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hello pile 1 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Dalmatian Jasper here. Now Dalmatian Jasper is a really pretty stone. There's also like a really light-hearted kind of energy that's associated with it, but it's far from being light-hearted. The main reason why it kind of brings up these things within the person is because it actually creates a safe space for one to be exactly what they're meant to be. More so in a joyful sense. So it allows you to kind of connect with the inner sense of childhood, safety, play within oneself. So there's something about that within oneself that is needing to come up to the surface. Maybe at this moment in time you haven't been able to express yourself in a joyful and authentic way. So therefore there's something about Dalmatian Jasper asking you to bring that forward. Let's have a look at what your card says. Okay, so we've got the Architect. I love this card. Right, okay, so really interesting card here. We've also got the moth as well, or butterfly. I think it's more of a moth, to be honest with you, that's there on her mouth. And then we've also got this kind of like almost blind. She can't see, but yet her real sight is here. So I don't know, pile 1, it seems to me that there is this sense of when you connect into this space where you can access your real sense of joy and vulnerability and feel safe, you tap into a space where you can truly build what you need to for yourself, if that makes sense. I've just noticed that there's also another one in her hair. So I don't know, I feel like there's something very delicate that needs to be put into place in order for you to kind of move forward. You may have been very tentative about what it is that you want to bring forward. You may have been wanting to bring, I've just seen another one as well. So we've got 3 moths here. Don't know how I missed all of that. But what it seems to me is that there may have been something that you have been thinking about bringing into formation, bringing to the world. And it's something that's really close to your heart, something that really resonates with your being. It also is something that's very beneficial to you. It's almost like your baby, which is what we refer to in the respect of our work. If we've done something and we've created something, not just in the respect of making a child, it's say for example a project or something, that's your baby, that's your child, that's your artistic project, whatever you want to call it. So it's almost like you're wanting a really safe space to be able to do that. And when you connect to this space that Dalmatian Jasper provides or is promoting, you thrive in that space. In fact, you get to a stage where you really kind of excel at the things where you're supposed to be excelling. Now, Dalmatian Jasper also has, well, these black spots are tourmaline. So tourmaline is a highly protective stone. So it's almost like really reinforcing your boundaries and what it is that you're supposed to be, and making sure that nobody takes that away from you, basically. Interesting. Okay, pile 1. So I'll place that there, and I'll place this here, and then let's have a look at some of your other oracle cards and astrology. So I'll start off with the astrology. I don't know if some of you have been like trying to build something and, you know, you've ended up having some kind of troubles trying to bring it forward. And I think it's really important for you to make sure that those boundaries, you know, make sure that the fence around your creation while you're creating it is watertight. Make sure that nobody is coming in to kind of mess it up or come in with their opinion about things or try and come in with their ideas of how to change things. Just do what you've got to do and just get on with it. Okay, so we've got 2 cards here. We've got Vesta reversed, and then we've also got Stellium. Interesting. Okay, so Stellium, reinforcement and concentration, and then we've got Vesta reversed, devotion. So, I mean, it seems to me like something is actively trying to take away your concentration and your attention. And also, this gives a rise to a lack of devotion in what you're doing. I don't know if this like stops you from thinking that what you're doing is right, or whether or not what you think that you're doing is not. I don't know. Maybe you can't concentrate. That's what I'm getting. It's like, oh, I can't concentrate, so I'm not going to bother doing it. You know, don't do that. I would say continue to just keep on just placing one brick, you know, even if it is one brick a day, just making small, consistent movements towards your goals is going to be really beneficial towards this, and is going to help bring the hearth and the fire towards your heart, you know. It's just really interesting. We've got these 2 beautiful cards which have got like all these stars and kind of, you know, feeding of the fire. And I just feel like, you know, it's almost like you started a fire and the fire isn't burning by itself, so you're like, oh dear, okay, it's too much hassle to go and chop wood or whatever. But the issue is because it feels like you're a little bit scattered, to be honest with you. It feels like your energy is in several different places, and what you need to do is you really need to call back your energy and make sure that it's focused at the place where it matters. As you can see, she has like gone into her 3rd eye, and she's also decided that she's going to focus on this spot, which is, you know, this eye that is here. So I think it's really important to think about that at the moment. There's definitely a release of energy because it is the middle of the day and I'm yawning. And my ears have got all funny, which usually happens. So, like, yeah, there's definitely some blockage in your focus here. And I mean, I know, like, when this reading comes out, we are coming up to Christmas, the holidays. But that doesn't mean that you can't still be focused on what it is that you're supposed to be doing, you know? As I said, one step at a time, and then that will help you. Earth, utilize logic, reason, and common sense. I don't know. I've just got a feeling that this is very ungrounded, you know, because these are not happening and these are not the right way up because it's ungrounded. So I think anything that's going to help you come towards some kind of groundedness towards the earth, walking in nature, getting outside. One of my coaches, actually, she was my wellness officer at university, and she said to me that when you go outside, I don't know, because I'm in the UK, so it's really grey and rainy and horrible. When you go outside, you know, if you can, walk outside with your hood down and don't have your head covered, and just let the rain fall onto your head and just enjoy the beauty of what that is. So that is a really grounding practice. Getting outside, making sure that you are getting outside every day and connecting with yourself. I'm hearing this like time and time again, but journaling, something that's going to allow you to be able to ground your thoughts and help you to just like exorcise them, you know. That's going to be a really useful practice for you, so that you can just crack on with the creation. That's what it seems like. Okay, so I will start with the tarot just to see what is going on. So I want to know a bit more about the situation, about what's going on. What is it that my pile ones need to know right now? What is it that my pile ones need to know right now, dear Spirit? Could you please tell me? What is it that my pile ones need to know right now? One, two, three, 4, 5. Thank you. Okay, we have the Emperor, the Sun, the Moon. Oh, wow. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Did I shuffle these properly? Yeah, they're definitely shuffled. Okay, right, Paul. Okay, right, well, it is what it is. Right, okay, so, Pile 1. It seems that there is a lot working kind of in your favor, but also I think this is a little bit of a test as well. I wouldn't be surprised if you're coming up against some shadow stuff at the moment, because it's almost like you have to create structure in order to get and discipline and relish in discipline in order to unleash your creativity. And what's happening is that seems to be bringing up some kind of things for you where you're like, where you're kind of facing a little bit of a lack of motivation. I don't think that this will last, but it really makes sense with these two aces reversed, and then you've also got the Vesta and the Stellium reversed. So I don't know. You may be kind of, I won't go as far as self-sabotage, but I think it's like, you know, when you're trying to do something new, and you do something, you create structure and you start to see some kind of progress, it starts to throw out some things which you thought that you dealt with, and you were like, oh, okay, actually I don't know about this. And then what happens, because those things haven't been dealt with, there's kind of a few false starts going on. Now I don't think that that's a problem, because these are just the aces, you know. It doesn't mean that it just means that you need to try a different way. That's all it is. And not only that, it also shows you where there is a lack of motivation, and also where there is, you know, you need to find the real passion for it. Now, not to say, now there is a lot of conflicting evidence, or conflicting information. I wouldn't even say evidence, because we don't know what that is, but like information about what exactly is, you know, do we need to have passion for something to do it? Do we need to have motivation to do something? Let's just break it down. In the morning when you get up, you know, for you to like actually move out of bed, there has to be a desire to get up. So that desire to get up has to be strong enough in order for you to want to do it. Otherwise you won't do it. So when we look at something as basic as that, I think it would be useful to apply that to the things that you're trying to get on and do. So if you think about, say for example, okay, I want to do this project, so let me remind myself about why I wanted to do it in the first place. And I think that that's really important, because then that helps you to go back to those spaces and then be able to really reassess whether or not it is what you truly want. You've also got the Ace of Cups here, so I don't know, it's either like the ways that you were doing it previously, they may have been stifling you. Now we've got like major arcanas here, so this says to me that you're quite advanced in the respect of understanding like what works for you and what doesn't. So I think it's important to remember that, because you might hit these things here and then you might be, oh no, and then just kind of give up. And whereas like actually, you know, these are just kind of like false starts in a way. It's just showing that the way that you're currently going may not work. But it does seem to me here with these three being upright, and also like, I don't know, the way that they're following on just kind of gives me this kind of vibe that this is meant to be, that this is a learning curve. And I think what you are doing is right. It's just what you're doing is different, so it's not gonna result in the same way that you have done. So in order for you to kind of cultivate this, there's something about cultivating heat and movement, because we've got like the heat, the fire, wands, and then we've also got water, cups. So the motivation and the emotion. So it's almost like understanding, as I said, like home is where the heart is here as well with Vesta. So it's like really understanding that and then getting that back into alignment. And the only way that you can really do that is by grounding oneself, you know. I don't know if any of you meditate or anything like that, but meditation and bringing yourself back to the present moment awareness. So mindfulness meditation, something that is going to really bring you back to the moment, is going to be something that's really useful. Really useful. Okay, let's have a little look at some clarification. So what is it that you need to know right now? You need to know that what you're doing is good, but you know, you just need to be consistent with it. And you need to utilize logic, reason, and common sense. Because there will be false starts, and then you might, I don't know, but you might get disencouraged. You might get yeah, is it disencouraged, or what's the word when you're not? Discouraged. Discouraged. You may get discouraged. Don't, because everything's on your side. The Sun and the Emperor and the Architect, those are really boom cards, you know. They're like intense cards, meaning that these guys know what they want. They're not dilly-dallying around. So, you know, and they're at the top of the food chain, and these are like the start of the food chain. So, you know, the sparks. Whereas these are the raging fires. And that's what you want to invest in. And I don't know, I just think there's a little bit of a forgetting. I don't know if something might have set you back or something. Let's have a look. Okay, you can clarify the Ace of Cups. Yes, clarify the Knight of Cups. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Six of Swords reversed. Perfect. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so... Three of Pentacles. Okay, so you may have thought that working with others might have been the key. Because we've got 2 3s here. And there have been certain plans that you've put into place that just have not. And it's interesting how we've got the Stellium reversed here and the 3 of Wands. So there seems like this attempt, these plans that you thought would kind of run through, they haven't worked. It's not worked. And that's what's kind of getting you a little bit like, oh, okay, right. And then we've got the 4 of Swords and the Moon. This is time to reconsolidate like your plans. This is time for you to really reassess what's going on. I don't know. I tend to read cards this way. I don't know why. It just happens. But the story seems to unveil itself to me more usefully that way. So, and if I was to do that with the back lot, which I didn't, then it would be that things haven't worked out for you previously. So then you've had some time to reconsolidate and find your power. Come back to your power. Because I think what happened was that there was a sense of you like moving away from it. And there's a sense of you being able to fall in love with yourself a little bit more and about what you bring. I think also part of you is starting to fall in love with the process as well. You know, if you really think about it, if you really come back to what's true, which is why it's important for you to be grounded, because once you're grounded, then you start to see the true beauty of everything, the true beauty of things that are around you, and even of what you're doing. You know, it's easy to get disillusioned with, you know, with things that you've been doing. Sometimes you feel that it's not good enough, or you feel that, you know, particularly with social media or comparison with other kind of people within your industry or something, you may think that it's not good enough, but actually there's something very special about it. And I think you taking the time to be able to really appreciate what it is going to help you. Six of Swords reversed. I'm just going to have a look at these, because this deck is mind-blowing. It's called, I'll tell you what it's called in just a sec. Okay, so this deck is called the Classic of Mountain and Seas Tarot, which was from Kickstarter. And the reason why I love this deck is because each of the characters on these cards, they all have, they're all mythological characters. And this one is depicting the character of the, I think it's called the Shangliu, which is a mythical creature serving under the celestial god Gong Gong. And it has a fierce and terrifying appearance, which has 9 heads. And it symbolizes the alternation between success and failure, choices and contemplation. Now, with it being reversed and clarifying the sun, this says to me that this clarifies actually what I was saying earlier about shadow work. So it actually clarifies it going this way, and then this going this way, like the top layer going that way. What I mean by that is that you've built something and then you're understanding that it doesn't work. And then what happens is then these, like, of the ways that you thought that you were going to be able to work through this issue actually gives rise to the reason why you can't quite walk away from it yet. And maybe a new kind of level of understanding in terms of you going through that will help you to reach the next level, which ultimately is shadow work. It means that you hit some blocks, you start to understand what they are, you acknowledge what they are, you respect what they are, you grow to respect what they are, because it might take a bit of time in that respect, and then you evolve to integrate. And that's what's happening here, and that's the work of the architect. It's to kind of create something new with what it has. And I think this is quite deep. I wasn't anticipating it to be so deep. I don't know, Spirit just loves giving me deep stuff to tell you guys, so I don't know, here we are. But yeah, this is shadow. Because you've got some big bad boys here. You've got, like, you know, you've got Emperor, Sun, Moon, Aces. This might come down to, like, why things don't kind of manifest in a more general sense. That isn't for everybody, but why things don't come to fruition. And it's because we need, or you need, like a real sense of devotion. And everything needs to be in alignment properly. It's almost like casting out your fishing rod in any old space without really thinking about what type of fish is it that you really want to catch. And then you wondering like what about why, you know. I remember I used to advise actors in terms of, like, when they were thinking about, like, what kind of stuff that they were looking for, what kind of work that they were looking for. And once you define, like, what it is that you want, which I'm not going to lie, like, some people don't actually know what they want, and that's fine. Sometimes you have to know what you don't want, or get what you don't want, in order to know, actually, I don't want that, I want this. So that's a really important sign as well. And that's why it's really important to be grounded. So this is a process, it seems like. And I mean, the Three of Wands is upright. The Three of Pentacles is upright. So it seems to me that there were some things that did go right within this point. So you have got gems, knowledge, whatever you want to call it, these things to build upon. And now you're being given the opportunity to contemplate about it. Contemplate and see what it is. Because there's something that needs to be moved away from that is not happening yet. You are moving towards it. It is happening. I mean, to be honest, if I was going to read it this way, this could also happen as well. And this is a general reading. This is probably why I've got like lots of stuff coming in. But you've also got like the Knight of Cups here in the respect of like somebody coming to you in terms of an idea. You feel like this is actually really, really useful. But then it may trigger some things because still the Six of Swords is reversed. So there's still something that is not being walked away from. Like left behind. So maybe it's triggering you into a space where you're actually, you know what, I'm just not going to do anything right now. And then what happens is then there's going to be some plans that actually come to fruition. Like, or you're going to send out some things based on the mistakes. Like you're going to be like, right, okay, this is what I have to do differently. So this is what you're going to realize, that this is why it didn't happen before. So it could also be that this is why it didn't happen on your own. And this is why it didn't happen before. All in all, it's a brilliant reading, because it means that what the universe is trying to tell you is that to just take a step at a time and not to be hard on yourself in terms of, you know, this project or whatever it is that you're trying to put across. You know, be kind to yourself, be loving to yourself, be Knights of Cups to yourself. Help yourself to help you, you know. You wouldn't berate someone else that was trying to do what you were doing, so why are you doing that to yourself? Very powerful reading, pile 1. Okay, so we've got Secret Garden, Sacred Space, Cultivate Your Space, Your Inner Beauty and Your Self-Care. And then we've got Water and Earth. So again, Water and Earth. And then we've got Azurite and Orchid. And then we've got Fire. I think that's Fire. Yeah, it's Fire. Azurite and Orchid, Lyre and Stargate, Personal Power, Healing Entanglements, Throat Opening. So, yeah, I mean, Azurite is very much about your opening of not only your throat chakra, but your third eye as well. So your intuition and your ability to communicate your intuition effectively needs to remain open. I think also, you know, this Three of Pentacles with the entanglements, that's also something to think about. And also the Three of Wands. I think it's interesting that we've got these two threes, but they are the right way up. So it seems to me like there may be connections that you're with, or you may be in touch with, that are beneficial. But I don't know, maybe the expectation is a bit too high on it. I don't know. Only take what resonates, discard the rest. This is a general reading. If you want a personal reading, you can get in touch with me and we can discuss things further. Okay, right, so let's have a little look at some energy and bringing this into... So just make sure that you're, as I said at the very beginning, with the Dalmatian Jasper, cultivate this space where no other fudge cake fairy can come in and mess around with your energy, all right? Just you, your thing, your space. The greats have this time that they put aside, people who do really well in what they're doing and like get their stuff done. They are meticulous with cultivating this space where they don't have anybody coming in and messing it up. And then you'll be able to capitalize on that. As you're right, it's quite a high vibrational stone as well. Sometimes comes with malachite. So this again, it comes back to the energy of this Dalmatian Jasper. So it's like that sense of allowing yourself to be in a space where you're able to raise your vibration, but in a really safe way, that it's in a space that no one else can kind of like come and mess with your vibe. Do you know what I mean? Wow, service. Whatever you're going to be doing is going to be really important for you to help others. That's why it's so important for you to feel at home with yourself, because if you don't feel in alignment and at home with yourself, then, you know, the gift that you're giving of service is flawed. It's flawed. Because then that means that you're giving from a deficit. And you have to give from a place of fullness. Okay, so not to say that, of course, like as human beings, we don't necessarily have the ability to be full all the time. But, you know, giving from an empty cup, what is that? Like, it doesn't work. That's why we need to engage in this earth, logic, reason, common sense. But I think you really want to share your gift with the world. You want to share whatever it is with the world. And because of that, it needs to be really grounded. You're on your way though, pile 1. You're on your way. So you got this. I do good. And it was reversed. Okay, right. So what I get from that is that this shadow stuff that you're dealing with, I think you need to just be aware that you are doing what you can right now, just taking one step at a time in order to move one step forward at a time. The path may not be clear immediately, but it's really important just to keep putting one foot in front of the other and just breathing, appreciating where you are, grounding yourself, making sure that your space is sacred, because each of these steps that you're taking is going to really help you to create a really strong foundation for you to move forward. Create your home and your hearth so that it's really strong, and people will want to emulate that. They'll want to create that for themselves, and you will help them in that, making sure that you're in alignment so that you can make sure everything's really strong and projected to where you can really actually give this sense of service, and you're also honoring yourself. Okay, pile 1, I think that's all the messages I have for you. Yeah, I think it's this self-care, you know, thing. I think it's really important for you to make sure that your self-care is really up there. And I'm not talking about just going to the spa or whatever, or I'm talking about when you're doing this work that you want to give to other people. So essentially you're still doing it for other people. You have to make sure it's done in the right way. And that also means taking care of yourself on the journey as well. So that's the message that's meant to find you. If you enjoyed this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, I hope you have a wonderful day, morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. Take care, and remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful titanium aura quartz, which the first thing that came to mind about this stone is, well, actually 2 things. That this was part of a necklace. I don't know if these are actually like bits that were drilled into it. I'm not sure, it looks like it. But this was part of a necklace, and actually the first half of it was a bullet, half of a bullet, and it used to like kind of hold that. So I think there's something about power here. There's something about, you know, making your mark, shooting forward. Titanium aura quartz is very much about power. Even thinking about the metal titanium, it's a very sturdy, hard metal. that's valuable and is a powerful metal. So there's something about you harnessing your power. And similar to pile 1, there is something about you being able to not really care about the toxicity that other people may bring into your life, or they may kind of, I don't know, like they may want to kind of step on your power. So this is about you being able to own it, and shine as bright as you can within that, basically. So it's also something to do with creativity. So anything that you are... So whereas like Dalmatian Jasper, the first group 1, that was more about like you being allowed to be yourself in a playful way. So almost like accepting the inner child within. This is more about the creativity within. So if you've been in a situation where you've had infringements on your creativity, this is kind of saying, giving you more empowerment to you and helping you to embrace that sense of yourself a lot more, and also feel that you have every right to express yourself in a creative way. So your card, wow, and then it's reversed, so we've got balance. Okay, so what I get from that is that there's been an imbalance in you being able to have your creative spirit kind of come to the fray. And if I'm honest, there's a sense of you being able to redress this balance. Let me have a look at some of the astrology. By the way, this is the Dream Visions Oracle. I'm reading the astrology with the Astro... I guess the Astro Codes Oracle deck. No, the Astro Souls Oracle deck. Okay. That was interesting. So that was the other way around, and then it turned round. Oh wow, lunar eclipse. So I think you're starting to see things that you may not have seen before about something, and you're breaking through in this respect. You're able to see through things and really find the space to be able to embrace what you are. Now, it's a lunar eclipse, so it's not as intense as the solar eclipse. So almost there's a sense of returning to oneself in order to realign to what one truly is. And then you can reassimilate this sense of balance. I'm just seeing the hands and like that kind of, I don't know how she's got it. Is it like that? Yeah, like that kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like that. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. I think that's it. Is it like that? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm doing it really badly. Let's see how she's doing it. So she put, anyway, not that it matters, but yeah. So it's just, it's trying to reassimilate that sense of balance. Sorry, got a little bit carried away there. I'll have to like see if I can do that when I'm off screen. Okay, so I just tried it off screen, and it's actually really difficult to do because like the rest of your fingers, but also not really difficult, it's just a bit awkward, but it's also for yourself. It's not for anyone else. I can't find it easy to do on the camera. So that even reinforces the idea of doing this during the lunar eclipse, or this idea of doing it for oneself. It's not really for anyone else, it's for you. Because other people may not be able to see that there's an imbalance there. The hourglass, time is of the essence. Okay, so you need to work quickly. You may also feel that time is running out. I don't necessarily think that that is the case completely, but it might be in some of your cases. So I would just reassess like what it is that you think that you need to do. I would also just take the time to get yourself into balance. A saying that I think that really comes to mind is, address me slowly for I'm in a rush. I think that's Napoleon said that. And I always think that whenever I'm in like a rush and I'm rushing around or doing things, I try and make sure I'm taking my time, because that's almost the time when I tend to forget things and rush things, and then things go wrong. So let's have a look. What does the universe want you to know right now? Pile 2. What does the universe want pile 2 to know right now? It might also be that you think that time is running out, because obviously we're at the end of the year. Well, this reading is timeless, but if you're reading this or watching this when I release it, it's at the end of the year. So you may be thinking that you need to get things done. But, healing has its own time. I just think it's more that you get on with it and don't procrastinate about it, because we can tend to procrastinate about healing because it's a painful thing to do sometimes. Okay. What does pile 2 need to know right now? Okay, so I'm just going to take this one because you've got too many cards. Pile 1, you've got the Queen of Wands reversed. Too many, sorry. So we've got the Queen of Wands reversed, and then we've got the Three of Swords reversed. Interesting. Too many. Just want to take a look at this Queen of Wands. Someone is not who you thought that they were, I think. Somebody's like, yeah. 10 of Wands. Love that 10 of Wands, it's great. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, 6 of Coins, and we've got 2 kind of like octopi kind of character, and then the King of Coins. I love this King of Coins. Right, okay, so I think someone maybe around you is throwing you out of balance, but you're kind of over it. You're over it. And you know that every time you interact with them, it's just a pain. It's just too much. So, and you're realizing also that there is an imbalance in when you do interact with them. Like it's very imbalanced. And you also feel like you're very confused. Like it feels like you don't know where you're going, because we've got these like 2 elements of things being spread out everywhere. It's almost like there's a destabilization energy here. And this energy, and this is actually your true form, like this King of Coins, or this is where you want to be moving towards. But this is what's happening. I mean, it could be you. Do you know what I mean? It may be an aspect of your own personality that may have been a little bit flippant, maybe not really committal, maybe, kind of, maybe it was a way of you being able to heal from something, but then you realize that it's not sustainable. But I also feel like there's a point where you were attracting certain types of people into your life. And now this is what you want to attract into your life. You don't want to attract something that maintains this 6 of Coins thing. There's something a bit Venom-like about this guy here. When I say Venom, I'm talking about Venom from the Spider-Man comics. But like, and I don't really know too much about the backstory of Venom. So if anybody you know about it, please do write about it in the comments. But I just get almost like a predatory kind of vibe here. And because we've got the Kraken as well, taking over the ship, It's almost like you had to be a bit of a shipwreck and then get to a point where you had to heal. But then in the process of you healing, you ended up going into the Six of Coins dynamic. Now, whether or not that you were the one who was assisting someone or whether or not you were being assisted. But now you know that that's not really where you want to be. It's not a place of power. You want to move towards this King of Coins. You want to be more established. And even though the Queen of Wands is beautiful and fiery, that I don't know, there's just something quite manipulative that's going on there. So what do you need to know right now? You need to know that a certain amount of time has been wasted on something. And that's been the core of your imbalance. And it's actually been taking away your power. I don't know, this Queen of Wands may have been siphoning off your power. And it may have been after some kind of breakup. So you might have broken up with someone and then you might have turned to someone for help or something. And then, you know, you've healed, but then it's almost like being in this situation with this. I don't know, you might even feel indebted to that person because they helped you. And it's put you into a really kind of compromising situation. So now you know that you want only things that are going to be stable, reliable, and actually like you can see the evidence in front of you. The fact that I'm looking here and not only do we see the turtle and then there is someone looking there, or we see the whole world that is on his bag or on its back. So this says to me that, you know, it's almost like you need to see the truth. You can't go with kind of fanciful desires or, you know, possibilities. Let's have a look at what the clarification is on this. The Nine of, I'm going to read it this way. So the Nine of Pentacles is clarifying the King of Coins. So yes, this is a striving for independence. Three of Cups, Six of Coins. Yeah, there was a real imbalance within this relationship. I don't know, it just feels a bit gameplay-y, like there was some kind of interaction that was causing like some kind of hierarchy or something. Four of Swords, Ten of Wands, you're not taking it anymore. You're actually deciding to exit the situation. Three of Swords, how many cards is that? One? Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Spirit. Okay, right. So Three of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Wands. You haven't been able to move out of this situation easily or quickly. But you know that it's been important to do so. It's interesting how we've got this hummingbird here, and then we also have the beauty, that green. Can you see? That beautiful green kind of hue. And then we've got that there. So what that says to me is you've had to take back your power, but it's had to be in a way that you haven't been able to be as quick as, you know, as you would have liked. It may have happened quickly, like, you know, what I get from the Eight of Wands is that it doesn't happen as quick as you want, but it happens. You know, it does drop, the penny does drop. So that's what I'm getting. And I think it's because actually you've done some healing over a situation where you connected with this Queen of Wands on. Now, I don't know if it's like the actual person themselves or if it's somebody that helped you through this situation. I think it might be somebody that, like, you know, tried to help you in this situation. And then you got the Hierophant. Yeah. Then that means that you actually like learn that what this person really is, really. Wheel of Fortune, bottom of the deck. So that means it was meant to happen. It was meant to happen this way. There's a sense of divine timing here. I think that the hourglass may have been a way of you understanding that you need to change something. And you had to take some drastic action to be able to get into yourself. What the message is from the cards is saying that you need to be away from the situation in order to gain independence and autonomy. And this was a lesson from the universe for you to learn. There was something for you to learn here. Okay. Quantum jump, wow. Yeah, you then look at that, the balance is being redressed. Yeah, this is definitely a lesson in how to navigate certain types of people, particularly whoever this Queen of Wands is, so that you can gain independence, because they wanted you codependent on them. I don't know, it may have been a relationship, like it might be a partnership, it might be a partner, you know. And they encouraged you to kind of like enter into this codependent space with them. And then you realised what it was like. And then you were like, no, I can't do this. I think I'd rather be single rather than be in this codependent relationship. And I don't know, like they seem to involve other people. And you're not down with that. It's a bit of a game, to be honest, with them. Yeah, it feels like very game-like. Like they're not really looking out for your best interest. It's just entertainment for them. And that's why it's throwing you out of whack. Not majorly though, because we haven't got any major arcana here. The only major arcana that we had was this one, the Hierophant, which means that it's a learning experience for you to learn from. And then we had the Wheel of Fortune. So it's not really a big deal, to be fair. I think you'll come to this kind of like conclusion anyway, regardless of whether or not you came to this reading or not. You would have started to understand about it. It's just that there's some kind of thing to do with the timing. There's something that maybe you have to do, or you have to get into place so that you can actually like continue with what you're supposed to be doing. Amethyst and passion flower, violet flame, transmuting, breaking addictions and nervous system. I think you're starting to like there just feels like codependency, particularly with passion flower, because passion flower is about like it is to do with addictions and being with other people. And you know, people say addictions are. It's really interesting about addictions, but I mean, love and the addiction to people, I think, is the biggest addiction that we have of all, because, you know, we can covet people, get obsessed with people, wonder what people are doing, wonder what they're up to. Oh, you've got two. You know? Does that make sense? Okay, wow. They're both reversed. Right, okay, I embrace the oil. Interesting oil. So maybe some essential oils might be interesting for you to work with. I embrace the all, and I benefit with gratitude. I benefit with gratitude. Okay, so what that says to me, I benefit with gratitude, means that there's a need for you to recognize the situation that you're in and how that situation is benefiting you right now, because you may be a little bit you may be thinking, I don't see what the benefit is of this situation. I don't see what the good thing is out of this situation, because I feel it's just a hindrance. I feel it's really annoying. I may be really annoyed that I even trusted this person or whatever. You know, just all of that stuff. I might be running out of time. You know, just chill out. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. I feel like there's like unnecessary pressure that's being put on oneself to kind of make sure that they've done something by a certain point. So just take it easy. and I embrace the all. There's a resistance here, but also I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary because I think it's really interesting actually, because that card I feel has got like a kind of skewed meaning, but this one is almost saying that I think it's good that you don't embrace the all right now, because you need to, because you've been doing that so much and that's been whacking you out of balance. So I think what's important is for you to like take the message or take the medicine from the stone and put that into practice by harnessing your power and not giving a AF about what people are doing or thinking, and just doing you. Otherwise you're not going to get to this, which is where you want to be. And the Hierophant as well, so that you can like kind of like dominate this pattern, because there's this pattern, there's this stuff you're working through. But I think you're doing it. I think you're doing it. I think it's just understanding that it's interesting. Like some people think that they're being mean or whatever sometimes with certain things, and I think just being assertive. You don't have to be mean to be assertive with your needs and set your boundaries. Very similar to pile 1, but just in a different way. It's almost like, yeah, I feel like this group here, they blame themselves a little bit for what's going on, and there's no point to it. Just get on and do your thing. Yeah, just get on and do your thing. Leave these people behind. We've got the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Cups reversed, I just realised. So, yeah, don't beat yourself up about being involved with certain people, pile 2. It's okay. It happens. It's just one of those things. And then that also hopefully helps you to recognise, you know, kind of what's the deficit within you that actually attracts these types of people to you. And just honour that. It's fine. It's okay. Now, next time you'll know. And if you don't, hopefully, then you'll see the red flags that will stop you from entering into these situations. You will learn eventually, so it's fine. It's fine. But there's something about balance here, and I think it's important for you to take the time to do that for yourself, because I think you're going to move ahead like really quickly. That's why the 8 of Wands is reversed, because it's almost like you're stopping yourself as well. Yeah, I feel a bit of self-sabotage here. So just relax. It's okay. It's okay. Just work on rebalancing yourself. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, my friends, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, it's been such a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to read your energy. Take care, and remember, honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hello and welcome to your reading. You chose this beautiful green fluorite stone, which is mainly about you being able to focus yourself into endeavors such as writing, reading, things that are more geared towards, I wouldn't quite say something academic, but more if you're learning something new. If you're embarking on some large projects or creative endeavors, it also allows you to kind of break through any issues that may be stopping you from getting to that point and or working through that point. I think, don't know if there's a tiny bit of, I don't know if it's like it feels like it might be a bit purpley. So there is something that is connecting you to the divine in terms of being guided towards moving through this breakthrough. Because you working towards what it is that you're supposed to be doing is actually really beneficial for you. You've also got like hues of blue as well that I'm seeing. So blue fluorite is also to do with the throat chakras, so communication. I mean, fluorite for me, I always have it. I used to have it close by when I was doing my work. I have lots of fluorite around. I have yellow fluorite and green, blue fluorite. It's very important to have that because it just really kind of brings up the learning capacity of your energy in order to receive the information. So what I'm getting really actually is there's something for you to learn here. There's something for you to pay attention to. Elephant. The elephant in the room. Is there something, okay, a few things. Is there something that you're not paying attention to that you need to pay attention to? Something that you need to take care of that you're not taking care of? Also, there's something also about your power in terms of you maintaining this and going into this space that allows you to really embody this sense of the elephant. It's a really powerful space for you to be in if you were to make sure that you kind of are adhering to this. If you are like working with this energy and really kind of going headfirst into your creative endeavors, or whatever endeavor that you are kind of in the process of, it might be something with work, it might be a project, whatever it is, it's going to give you a lot of power. So if you're doing it, then I think you're on the right path. It's almost like a ball rolling down a hill, like a snowball. Like you can't stop it. So it's pretty powerful. Okay, let's have a little look at your other cards, pile 3. Flourite is also about you gaining clarity about what it is that you're learning, you know. Not so much why you're learning it, but more about what you're learning and discerning the right type of information to learn. Like, what's the correct information to learn? How do I learn it in the fastest way possible? How do I learn it in the most useful way possible for me? Okay, so we've got Pluto reversed, and we've got transformation, rebirth, renewal, obsession, and then it's reversed. I think this card wants to come out as well. Waning crescent, surrender, restore, reflection, intuition, stillness. And that's also reversed. So pile 3, I think there's something that, I think there's an elephant in the room. I think there's something that you need to deal with so that you can like crack on with what you're supposed to be doing. Very similar message for all piles, to be fair. So that's why Spirit wanted me to get this reading out. The chalice, rejuvenation and fulfillment. Okay. So I'm also getting a bit of a Taurian vibe here as well, pile 3. I think that there has been something that may have been left behind that you thought, oh, it's all right, I can deal with that later, and then you're moving on with something else. Because the waning crescent is towards the end of the cycle of the moon. You close it off and then you can, you know, that's the whole cycle done. Pluto is reversed, and that's almost like a lack of transformation. Something, it's almost like the judgment reversed. So it's almost like not answering the call, seeing that it's there and then not dealing with it. So I think there's something that you need to deal with that you haven't dealt with. And I don't know, because I'm doing this reading at Christmas time or like holiday time. Maybe the idea of like party season or holiday season is a distraction. That's what I'm getting. Let's have a look at what the tarot has to say about this. What are you forgetting? What is it that pile 3 needs to know right now, dear Spirit? What is it that pile 3 needs to know right now, dear Spirit? Wow, okay, they all came out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, okay, so we've got the 4 of Cups reversed, we've got the Ace of Coins, we've got the Devil, we've got the 9 of Cups, and then we've also got the Hermit. That was kind of, I don't know, it's coming out like that now, so it doesn't matter. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, even if you may not be dealing with what you need to be dealing with, it's okay. It's all right. Because you might be actually just taking some time out for yourself and just enjoying yourself a little bit. Taking some time to just really nourish yourself. I think you're willingly going into a state of like indulgence. And because we've got the 9 of Cups and the Hermit as well, it's almost like you may have got something that you wanted and now you're enjoying it. Interesting. Interesting. I need to like have some more cards because I'm not sure about this. Okay, interesting. Right, okay, I see what's going on. So there's a bit of complacency here. So it's almost like it's not quite 7 of Pentacles energy where you have got something, but there's a bit of you're enjoying like some kind of return on what you've like put out there. Yeah, you are. And what's interesting is that you'll still realize that that isn't what you want. So basically, yeah, you have got something. You got something. You got your own way. You got whatever you wanted at this point. You got it, and that's great, and you're enjoying that. And you feel okay with that. That's fine. But you'll realize that there's still something missing. Okay. Yeah. And you'll also realize that there's still more work to be done. There's still something else that you need to do about the situation. Because if you don't, then you're going to be dishonest with yourself. I think it's also just a bit of a wake-up call, to be fair. Excuse me. It's a bit of a wake-up call, to be fair, because you feel that you know that some certain things are not enough. Like you'll be like, yeah, I've done this thing and it's great and I'm having a good time now, but actually there's more that I need to do. It's almost like if you have been aiming to climb at Everest and then you get to like the first base camp and then you think that that's the climb. And then you're like, oh, this is great. I could just stay here. And maybe you find a monastery there and then you decide to stay there for like maybe a month or two. And you're like, I could just live here forever. And then you're like, oh, actually, I was supposed to climb Everest. Weird analogy, I know, but that's what's come to mind. Let's have a look at your other cards. Let's see what they say. It's a really weird story. I don't know, pile 3. That's what's coming out. Oh, you got 2. Nice. Wow, Master Manifester. It was reversed. And then you also got Surrender to Receive. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's almost like you know that you are this like amazing manifester and that you got this and that you just know this, but it's still not getting there. So why is it not getting there, pile 3? Why is it not getting there? Because there's still like this attitude of the Page of Pentacles happening. And until you're like completely honest with yourself, which kind of comes through in your endeavors in being able to like realize that you know the Ace of Coins is not enough. You need more than that. You want the world. You don't just want the Ace of Coins. You want the world. You want everything. You know, like we all do. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying this in it's all in your own context. It's all in the context of what you want as your own world, what you describe as that, your own world, your own experience, whatever that is to you. But you realize that the Page of Pentacles, you know, you could be all right with that, but like it's not really what you want. You want more than that. And not only that, there's a sense of being a slave to something as well. It's still just a page. You want something more than that. And then this 3 of Wands. I'm curious to see what this is. Let me just read up about this because this deck is amazing. So, and it has a mythological kind of background to each of the cards. So let me just look that up. Okay, so this creature here is called Dijang or Dijang. I don't know how you pronounce that. But what's really interesting is that what she says in the book is just really nice. So it's mainly not to be hasty, short-sighted, or focus solely on immediate gains. To progress further, some sacrifices may be necessary, and it may lead to a more determined and powerful course of action. And even though like the page is definitely an affirmative action in that direction, it's still just a page. It's not the queen or the king. I mean, the knight knows where he's going, but he's still. You want to be either the queen or the king. You know, someone who actually knows how to manifest and do something with that. And not kind of just bulldoze through. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not getting really movement here. Even though we do have 3 of Wands and we have the Magician. I get a bit of a scattered energy here. And what's really interesting with these 2 reversed, with the Surrender to Receive and the Master Manifester being reversed, there's something blocking you in that respect of you being able to harness your own energy and be able to really receive the blessings truthfully. That's what I'm getting, pile 3. And it's going to push you towards being more honest with yourself about what you really want and about how you make that happen. So the message here, what you need to know right now is that there is an elephant in a room, or there is an elephant in the room that you need to deal with that you may have been avoiding. And this will continue until you face it. You know? You have to face it. And I think that your plans will come to fruition, even if you do like have these avoidant plans or whatever, or you think that that's avoidant, that will come to fruition because of who you are. But there is something else that you need to take care of. don't know. I want to know what this thing is. I think it's I think it's the complacency. I think it is. I think it's the complacency with understanding that you don't have to move forward because I'm all right. Yeah, like what I said before. Yeah, sorry, I forgot what I said before. So, so essentially, you know, how you have done something previously and getting so far, or like you've done something and then you get so far, that's not enough. You need to go further. You need to go deeper. You need to go more because that's what you want. You don't want to stop at the, you don't want to stop at the base camp. You want to go up to the summit. Okay, so we've got here, we've got Adonite and Lemon Balm, which is awakening and transitioning. Look at that mountain. And then we've got Aprophyllite and Elemi. Lifestyle choices, detox, nourishment. So that's, I think that's water and fire. And fire here. Or is it air? I don't know. God, I don't even remember. Like, I tell you, I need these symbols tattooed on me somewhere so I can remember what they are, because like I really don't remember what the triangles mean. Okay, so this is water and air, and this is air. So there's something about you being able to integrate air energy into your being. And the Magician is very much air as well. Gemini also, Mercurial more so. So there's something, and also some people say that Scorpio as well is the Magician. So there's something about you being able to harness that energy of kind of like going on towards the summit, surrendering your thoughts and surrendering your immediate gains, which is what was signified here. Also lifestyle choices. I mean, you know, whenever I see the devil, I always think that somebody is indulging in the things, and particularly because, I don't know, when I saw the chalice and I saw the 9 of cups and then also the devil, I don't know, some of you might be drinking, or there may be something to do with like intoxication of some sort that may be causing you to like just kind of sit still or just be in a space where you feel comfortable. And this is about you moving outwards out of that space. So you need to go towards that. And there's very much about cleansing, water, air energy. Something, I just feel cold, like a cold shower, a cold breeze that you have, a cold stream that would, you know, that you dive into this pool of cold water and then you just wake up, and then when you come out of the water you're totally exhilarated. And then, you know, but to get into the water, you don't really want to get into an ice cold lake, do you? Because it's not comfortable. So yeah, it's about taking that step. Wow. I give blessings, and it's reversed. So pile 3, I think this is really interesting because I feel like there's a clear message for you to, I don't know where this is going to go. Right. I think there's a clear message for you that there's some kind of deficit here. There's something that you need to pay attention to. You have to pay attention to, because it's blocking you. It's blocking you. And I don't know, as I said, you may be in this space of like complacency where you think that everything's okay and think that it's fine. And, you know, kind of a bit like ostrich in the sand, you know, ostrich with the head in the sand kind of thing. I think that's what's going on here. And I think it's important to get your head out of the sand and deal with what you've got to deal with and be honest with yourself. I think you know as well. You do know. Because you're highly blessed. Like you've got so much that's kind of going for you, but it's almost like the glass ceiling in a way. But I don't know, like maybe you're just not choosing not to go through it or something. I don't know what's happening. I think, as I said before, I think it's this kind of like complacency with where you think you are. And it's really interesting. In the meditation that I practice, the insight meditation, people think that they've got to a particular stage once they have done. It's actually one of the pathways to know that you're progressing on the path. And people think that they have achieved this sense of bliss. And because basically there's a stage that you get to where you completely dissolve and you become, you know, you can, yeah, you dissolve. So you understand that everything is, you know, not really matter, you know, because your mind is able to get so concentrated that it recognizes that. And sometimes when people get to that stage, they think that that's enlightenment, or they think that that's the ultimate stage. And it's actually a very early stage. It's a very early stage. So, you know, people think they've got to that, and then they kind of like rotate in this section where they think, oh, it's so blissful and it's so amazing and I'm enlightened or whatever. For those of you who are interested, it's one of the 4 jhanas. So yeah, check those out if you're interested. But I mean, basically it means that you get to a stage and you think that you've reached that, but then what the challenge is once you've reached that stage, then you understand that this is a stage to be you're supposed to transcend this stage and understand that even there's more to come. There's more mastery to kind of work through. And I mean, we didn't get 7 of Pentacles here. We got like bigger cards here, but I mean, still, it's still only the page. So I think there's still some way to go here. And I also think that forcing your way through any of this is not going to work. You have to work through it properly. So yeah. I think that's what's going on. So pay attention to that, pile 3. I hope that resonated. If it did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, if you enjoyed this reading, thank you so much. Check out my other picker cards that I've got. But otherwise, take care. Have a beautiful day. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye.